We'll get started. Zach Allen.
Hey, Coach. Hey, does Christian prefer playing the 4 or 5 inside your offense, Coach?
That's a good question. He doesn't seem to have a preference either way. I talked to him a while ago, kind of about playing with Kelly, and he really likes playing with Kelly. So whether he's the 4 or 5 doesn't really kind of matter in that sense. I would think generally him playing the 5 is probably better, just because he doesn't have to deal with switches as much. But you know, he can play either 4 or 5, and you probably have to ask him which he prefers better. For me, it's less about which position, it's who he's playing with and how he's most comfortable doing it.
Adam Spolin.
Hey, Stephen. Tad just told us that he plans to step down when the season ends. Just how has he helped you in the 6 months or so that you've been with the team?
Yeah, he's helped me a bunch. He has been someone who I can just talk to. He has been someone who calls just at the right time and on the right day, and just to check in and encourage. And you know, I obviously didn't know him for super long, but he's one of the reasons that I'm here. And I really just enjoyed the time that we had together. Although it's so shortened with COVID, it's hard to really spend a lot of time with people and connect and all of those things. But as far as people who are in my corner and people who I trust and people who I really care about, he's right there in this organization. And I mean, this organization is one of the best in the NBA, right? Like, we have a great owner in Tillman, and we have Patrick, and we have Rafael, and Tad is right in with those guys, like right there with that leadership group, who I care about so much and I appreciate so much, and I appreciate their encouragement that they give me. But yeah, when I heard about it, I was disappointed, because I knew that was an ally and someone who I really, really respect, and someone who I would always call at the same time. But speaking to him today, he was like, all those things are going to remain true. You know, it's just, I'm not going to work for the Rockets anymore. But the relationship and the encouragement and the things that I see and all of those things they're still remaining true. So I'm happy for him that he's going to be, you know, happy moving forward. And I'm also happy that the relationship stands, because he has been, through this trying year, he has been one of the people who I have leaned on the most.
Kaylee Griffin.
Hey, Coach. Will Danuel play tonight?
Yes, he will play. He'll come off the bench, but he'll play.
Besides the obvious of just getting another player back, how does that benefit this group?
Yeah, it benefits a lot. We obviously are missing wing depth, and he is versatile in that he can guard multiple positions, and he's long, and he gets out in transition, and he can handle the ball some. He makes threes, and we desperately needed some guys to get out there and, make some threes. So yeah, all that he brings, we need, and it'll be great to have him back on the floor tonight.
Jonathan Fagan.
It's been such a tumultuous 6 months for this organization. Does this feel like almost another shoe that drops type of thing? I know some of the changes were actually before you were on board, or at least Daryl's change. But does it feel like just another, I don't want to put a word in your mouth, but another hit that this organization is taking in at least change?
That's hard to say. This organization has been, right at the top of the league for a long time, and change in the NBA is inevitable. So I guess the fact that all of this change has happened in the last 6 months makes it more magnified, I guess. But as far as change in the NBA, stuff like this happens all the time, right? So I wouldn't necessarily say it's a hit as far as to the organization or whatever. He'll definitely be missed, and like I said, I'll miss him to the nth degree. But it's the NBA, and I've been through ownership changes, coaching changes, leadership changes, trades, all of those things over the 20 years. And, a lot of those things have happened this year, but it's just part of it. And it just happens so that it happened this year, and put on top of that COVID and the 72 game season. It just makes it more magnified. I think that's the best word for it.
Thank you.
Mark Berman.
Steve, if I could ask you a basketball question, since you told us that Danuel is coming off the bench, can you share your starters tonight?
Yeah, I think it's the same starters as last time. Wall, Brooks, Tate, Olynyk, Wood.
Thank you.
Adam Spolin.
Will John play tomorrow night?
No.
So for tonight, and I guess you had it the other night, are you kind of paying extra close attention to how things look when he's not on the floor, since you won't have a point guard at all tomorrow?
Yeah, I am. the way you said it makes it sound so bad since I won't have a point guard tomorrow, and I guess it is very bad. But yeah, I'm really paying attention to who can bring the ball up the floor, who can get us organized, who can, kind of run the show. And yeah, it's going to be rough without John, KP, DJ, Eric to do that tomorrow, and some stretches tonight.
You knew this was coming just the other night. So did you learn anything from the Utah game about who can handle that?
Yeah, I mean, Jay Sean can bring the ball up the floor. We had him do it. And we kept it pretty simple. I think we have some other guys on the floor who can bring it up, whether it's Kelly and getting us into super simple stuff, or House is back. So maybe he can do it some, but it's definitely by committee based on who's guarding who.
Zach Allen.
Hey, coach, just touch on like the last 6 months. But how optimistic are you as a Rockets head coach for the future?
I'm super optimistic. I mean, I think that you could go down our roster and see a bunch of guys who have improved. I think you could look at Christian Wood, and you can look at Jayshawn Tate. You can look at Kevin Porter Jr. You can look at KJ Martin. You can look at John Wall. We have guys who have improved this year. We have, I guess the thing that has been challenging has been setting the structure of how we're going to do things based on lack of practice time, injuries, COVID, all of those things. It's been kind of hard to do. But I think if you look individually at the guys that we have, and the improvement that they've made within the construct of what we're doing, there's nothing but optimism from my point of view moving forward.
Thank you, Coach. We appreciate your time.